Space Action Podcast! La, la, la. With your hosts, Chris Carson and DC and Shama.
Welcome to Space Action Podcast, a division of Space Action Heroes, a webcomic you can find online at spaceactionheroes.com. My name is Denise Winshama.
And I am Chris Carson.
And this week we're going to be discussing the new series that just dropped on Amazon Prime, based on the Garth Ennis, Derek Robertson comic.
The Boys. I don't know why I did it so sing-songy.
I mean, it doesn't really fit the theme
Doesn't
of the
really fit
show
the theme at all.
Like,
the fucking boys, you cunt.
Yeah, stupid fucking bastard. That was a terrible cockney accent.
Yeah. I did like the line of, like, why do you call everyone cunts? They're durable, they can take a beating. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're such a good little cunt.
They stole that from me, Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Dana De Lorenzo totally has this thing where she calls Pablo her vagina because, like, you're tough, you're flexible, you can take a beating, like, you're my vagina.
I never got through I never got past season 1. Like, I watched season 1 of Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Did you like it?
I loved the first episode.
Yeah,
because
the one that's Raimi directed.
The Sam Raimi one was absolutely brilliant because it felt like Evil Dead, but then it quickly turned into a TV show. And I was like, oh.
I see what you're saying, but the one thing I will give that show is that they went old school as fuck. The practical effects of that show were really cool, and so I've said it before, I'll say it again. The reaction you get from practical effects puppets and shit doing gross pussy gnarly stuff.
As a spoiler alert for our own comic book, in issue 4 there's a moment where a head is put into a butt, and issue 4 wasn't out yet, but it was written and you were drawing it. I'm pretty sure that panel's even drawn, and then I saw the episode of Ash vs. Evil Dead where he goes into a corpse's butt.
Not up
like,
the butt.
Fuck.
We weren't. Yeah, no, I was quoting Ash.
Oh yeah.
But we weren't smart enough to give the Zolotion a fucking Prince Albert and have it run down his fucking nose. That was the funniest part of that scene.
That was the moment. But I was like, no! Why? Of all the things to slip in right before. Yeah.
Quite literally. I mean, it's a hot topic, apparently. It's a popular...
Sticking a head up a butt.
Sticking a head up a butt.
Speaking of sticking things up butts...
Did anything go bad? Oh, there was some butt penetration happening in The Boys.
It sure was. It sure blew up an invisible man.
Like, how do you destroy an impermeable man? Other than
stick a grenade up his ass.
Sticking some C4 up his rectum and blowing up his soft pink insides.
The problem I had with that was that he should have just poofed.
Oh, can you...
Like,
that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you just see him, like, hemorrhage at his eyes and his mouth.
Because if he's completely impenetrable, his eyes, his teeth, everything, then that grenade inside of him should have mucked him up on the inside, but his shell should have still been...
I wonder if they threw that around and they were like, that's too much even for us.
Maybe.
Like, that's fucked
Or
up.
would it just be more visually interesting to see blood go everywhere versus you just see, you just hear it, and then you'd see a body go boom.
It's true.
Actually, you wouldn't even see the body.
And also you don't get like the visual poetry of Huey literally covered in blood.
Yeah.
So, but
so this is spoilers for Moment Out. If you haven't seen The Boys, it's been out for a few weeks, so I think if you haven't seen it...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck's wrong with you?
Just watch. If you're listening to this, you're probably interested. If not, who cares if it's spoiled for you?
Subscribe to Amazon Prime and then watch it.
Yes.
Like we totally did.
Like we totally did. Actually, I did watch it on Amazon Prime. Sam has an Amazon Prime.
I know, so did I.
Account.
Why'd you
I don't know why
otherwise?
I said actually.
Yeah.
But on the topic of Amazon, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you should cancel it immediately because they are the #1 corporate sponsor of ICE. And they provide the technology that tracks the immigrants and categorizes the immigrants at ICE.
Out.
Yeah. So go fuck yourself, Amazon Prime. If we ever get sponsors, Amazon, we will say no to.
Man, I feel bad. I use Amazon. I think I have at least 2 orders on the go right now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I'm separating families with my purchases.
Yeah, you are. Everyone is. Yeah, they keep going and protesting at Jeff Bezos' offices.
I was about to say, so like the Bezos knows all about this shit.
Yeah. Because they're
I knew something
sponsor.
was up with that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You don't look right.
They donate all the equipment that ICE uses, and they create the database that the names are kept on in order to track them, and that's why people are getting dragged out of their homes in the middle of the night is because of an Amazon
Good
database.
Lord.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's some nefarious shit.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Amazon.
Smart, like, okay, and this is by no means being like, well, what a fucking clever idea created by some amazing people, but that's fucking smart.
Oh, it's insidiously brilliant. It's nefariously brilliant, I should say.
Terrible.
Yeah, supervillains, man.
But on that note of hidden supervillains,
yeah,
I'm telling you, I think that's what I liked about Les Boys so much was just as much as I love the MCU, it does lack a little bit of severity.
A little bit of depth.
A little bit of depth, and that's why I think my favorite ones are like Civil War or the first Iron Man, where you really see like, oh, this is like impacting this dude to a point where it's breaking him.
Right.
I always find the DC movies are lacking any levity, good storytelling, any sort of...
And the illusion of depth, because when you really analyze them, you're like, this is like a first-year film student project.
The highs aren't very high, the lows aren't very low. It just kind of, it's CGI bow, and then cutscene dialogue.
Yeah, and then meaning that is so broad.
Yeah,
that you're
exactly.
Like, who did this? Oh, Zack Snyder.
There's something... There's nothing unspecific about the boys. There's nothing unclear about the messages they're trying to attack.
Yep.
The people that they criticize, what their opinions are.
The falsity of religion.
Yep.
The falsity of government.
They'll make you fucking laugh your ass off 1 second like a Marvel movie, and then go, Jesus Christ, this is darker than any DC movie. The beats this show was able to hit while still maintaining this superhero feel. I thought it was insanely well balanced.
Yeah, it was really good. Like I unfortunately I binged a lot of it, and I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, me too.
Because it is not a bingeable show. It is definitely a show that could have benefited from a week between each episode to sort of digest it.
Because they're all about kind of different things. Like one's
everyone
about
has
like
a beginning, middle, and end.
One's kind of about the Me Too movement. One's kind of about how religion is used as like a fucking
weapon
in the Western world. Like the critique of the Western world in this show's fucking phenomenal.
Well, that's what I always found funny, because all like the super uber right wing Trump-its of the world we're getting.
Did you just make that up?
I'm sure it's been said
How
before.
How the fuck has no one come up with trumpets?
I'm sure it's been used. I have never heard it before, but I guarantee it's been used.
That's a good one.
But those are the lady trumpets.
They got a kick line. They wear orange toupees.
Yeah. And no underpants.
What is that?
I just assume because they're probably okay at being raped. Right? I mean, if you're a woman who supports Donald Trump, you kind of have to be okay with getting fingered against your will.
Because apparently you're voting for a fucking political party that doesn't believe your body's your own goddamn
grabbed by the pussy, they can't say shit. Yeah. So if you have a vagina...
His words, Trump, by the way, we're just paraphrasing his fucking words.
No, I mean, fucking monsters need to be made fun of.
That was a swing and a hit, sir. Holy shit.
But, what was I going to say? Oh, they were all bitching about The Boys because they were like, oh, just another show saying America and Christians are evil. And it's like, did you watch the show? Because it's mostly making fun of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like 90% of what they're making fun of is Hollywood, and then they pepper in some religion and some other factors. But
the fact that the main antagonist of the series is like a corporation who's using superheroes to fucking wave in your face and do everything great while doing the most monstrous shit behind the scenes.
Disney doesn't own iTunes, do they?
Disney
doesn't own iTunes, do they?
You watch yourself. I'm telling you.
We gotta be careful.
I'm telling you, the code is pineapple because they can read your lips. If there's a red laser pointer on your chest at any point during this conversation,
shape of Mickey's head.
Pineapple. Like just roll your seat back.
No, can the code word be? Ha!
That's so obscure. If I say pineapple, you'll know right away. If I just go, ha! You'll just
like, what fucking Mickey Mouse is about to kill me? I'll just know.
And that'll be your last words.
Yeah, boom. And in the shape of his head will be blown through me.
You're next. Ha!
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. What were we talking about, The Boys?
Yeah, the way they used religion in this show was fucking hilarious.
It was spot on, yeah.
The idea of one... I didn't, that went right over my head until you mentioned it earlier before we started recording. I totally forgot the subplot. They said that they were anointed by God, hence the whole subtext of why the superheroes were at that.
Yeah.
Right.
Superheroes were created by God, but then it turns out they were just made by a mad scientist.
A mad scientist was camouflaging polio vaccines.
I didn't know that. That's new information.
Yeah.
Because they do reveal that Starlight's mom was offered money.
And then
to
the rest
give her
of the kids,
shots.
They got autism.
They got the autism.
They got autism.
Because the way I understood it was that you had to go in to get your child signed up for it.
You had to, I think that's what it was, but so, the government wouldn't be like, hey, what the fuck is with these blue vials of special shit you're putting in these kids? Like, no, it's polio vaccine. Yeah.
Again, riffing on the polio vaccination. Why? The reason that anyone over 55, 60 thinks that vaccinations are pure evil is because at one point in history they were used to really experiment on minority populations. It was really fucked up. Oh.
The polio vaccination crisis. Yeah, the Me Too. I'm trying to think what else came out that I was like, oh fuck, you're going there with this fucking show? Yeah. That's ballsy. I love the whole thing about Starlight in the costume.
Yeah,
Just the
getting
fact-
her stripper costume.
Yeah, getting her, making her put on the stripper. Like, yeah, but this one shows we're empowering you by putting you in this costume. Like, so is this? It kind of felt like, is this feminism now?
I think
Like,
it's
you know what I mean?
Hollywood's
Like,
take on feminism.
exactly.
Like, look how powerful Wonder Woman is in her tiny little outfit.
Exactly. We get to have our cake and eat it too. No,
Yeah.
no. We're not putting her in a skimpy outfit to fucking like sell tickets. It's
No,
because
it's
we're
empowering.
empowering. And I'm like, okay.
You know, those words and decisions are being made by middle-aged men.
Yeah. How did Gal Gadot get to comment on the?
I doubt
No, they
No.
just squeezed her.
Well, do you
into
remember
it.
that was actually a really great point, because feminism is one of the greatest things to happen to our fucking culture. It's just the psychos in the movement who ruin it for the rest of us.
Like any powerful
Like
movement,
any powerful
and
movement.
the militant ones will fucking ruin it.
ruin it to hell. But that one thing I really enjoyed was the side-by-side screen comparison of all the Amazon women from Wonder Woman, Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman, and then from Zack Snyder's Justice League.
haven't seen that.
And they all just look like strippers in Zack Snyder's version. They all were wearing tiny little things with their tits just popping out.
Yeah.
And all like heavily made up with makeup.
You know when someone's behind the lens, you can take a producer's note. I'm sure Patty Jenkins was like, "No fucking way in hell
Yeah.
in my movie."
Yeah, they-
But Zack
just
Snyder
like
was
that.
like, "I can't hear you on top of this pile of money. Take off your clothes, ladies."
Oh my god. Oh god. I think every 4 out of 10 podcasts end up with us ripping on Zack Snyder in one way or another.
I don't think we rip on Ryan Johnson more than
Yeah,
anyone.
I'm gonna try and rip on Zack Snyder more though. I mean,
He's had a rough go.
That's the
Don't you
thing.
leave Zack Snyder alone.
he's had a rough go, but at the same time, the second that I saw him wearing a shirt that was like "lead follow" or "get the fuck out of the way" or one of those like those uber mensch men
Okay.
fucking catchphrases,
Hey, but
I knew he was a meathead. I just realized, oh, you're a fucking meathead.
yeah, but Dawn of the Dead's real good.
The
Like when they
remake?
when they play that Johnny Cash song at the start, I really like that. He's good at openings.
I
he
love-
does great opening title sequences.
I need to watch that again because I loved it when it first came out, and that's why I was excited for the next Zack Snyder movie, which turned out to be something
300.
300, I think, and I fucking hate 300.
300, I like if you're just really high.
I can't do it because you know me, I'm a curmudgeon for green screen and effects and things, and that's
You would
all
hate
that it is.
You
Yeah,
would fucking hate that movie.
but and the Gollum-esque character looks like the worst. It's because they spent no money on practical makeup, like the prequel
now
trilogy.
I remember. See, and again, you can't watch it because you watch it with some sort of investment, like it's going to be a movie.
Like I want
You
this
wanna
to
watch-
change me or something in some way.
You're trying to watch a film, but you're watching a Zack Snyder picture, sir.
Yeah.
You're walking into the same dude
Is
who
he?
had fucking Patrick Wilson banged a Leonard Cohen for
Hallelujah.
5 fucking minutes.
That's so stupid. He should have just been a softcore porn director. That's all he should have actually
Isn't
done
that
with his
how he
life. Is it? That would be hilarious. That would no. I think he started in music videos.
Really? Let's find out. Ramp.
But so the boys, basically the overall arc of the boys is that the main character, what's his name, Huey,
Huey.
his girlfriend is killed by A-Train, the superhero A-Train. He runs through her and obliterates her into a pile of goop. And he just wants revenge. And so Carl Urban, realizing he can use him.
Well, first of all, what I love the most is that his motive wasn't originally revenge. He has that fantasy about murdering
Oh,
the dude.
yeah,
they were
yeah,
just
yeah.
going to offer him a settlement to be like, shut the fuck up.
And he just
Here's
didn't wanna take
45
it.
grand.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, imagine someone being like, the person you love's worth what? About
45
grand? You
Yeah.
good with that?
Yeah.
That's it. And I love that it was his motivation. He was like, that's insulting. That a
Yeah.
corporation just thought you can buy
Put a
my
price
fucking...
tag on it, yeah.
And to me, that was his driving force. Well, like, I don't think if that happened... Like, if he got, like, a full sincere... If A-Train was like, I'm sincerely sorry for what fucking happened.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't mean it.
It wouldn't have
fucking
wouldn't have
motivated
happened.
him.
Yeah. So it's about ultimately it's about A-Train's comeuppance, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a samurai movie. Like, he done fucked up.
Yeah.
And your uppance is coming.
And all he was doing was running back to his apartment after buying drugs. That was the thing that A-Train was doing that got his
Right.
girlfriend killed.
Right.
So anyways, yeah. So he Carl Urban, what's his Carl Urban's name again?
The Butcher.
The Butcher. He just realizes I have a moment
Can
here
we
to use him.
Can we just... We already did it, but can we just talk about how awesome Carl Urban
Yeah,
is?
he's great.
Carl Urban, I don't know if everyone is as oblivious as me, but he's a modern day chameleon. I didn't
Yeah.
realize he was in so much shit until I watched this show and I was talking about it with other people, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, he's great in Bad Boys
This
2,"
is
and I'd be
great in
like,
that.
"Where's
Yeah.
he in Bad Boys 2?" And they're like,
Great
"Oh."
in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or what was the third one? He's great in Bourne. He's the perfect Russian villain. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He was in all those things.
He's what we all thought Johnny Depp was gonna be 20 years ago.
Yeah, but how old is he? Because he's old.
got to be in his 50s by now.
Yeah, and like that's you need more like gruff older actors. There's a big gap missing right now.
I love that his beard is his beard because you can tell because of all those stray hairs. Like every time there's a close up, there's like a big old hair hanging from his chin. And someone with a beard, you're like, oh no, that's real.
That's totally real.
That fucking you miss those. So they pop out.
He's 47.
Oh, he's only 47.
He's only 47. He's Bones McCoy. Goddammit.
Yeah.
Oh, we started in Xena, so he's been a while around for a bit.
Xena, wasn't it? Because it was made in New Zealand, and then he got Lord of the Rings because it was also in New Zealand.
He's got a fucking dense career. He's in those Riddick movies. I've only seen one of those.
Oh, fuck, he is in those Riddick movies.
See what I'm saying? Like, the guy's so good. That guy, that's how good he is. He's been in our entire filmography, and we never knew it.
Yeah. What did you think of the Riddick movies?
I've only seen one, and it was at like a party. Yeah. No, I haven't. I saw one. I think it was like the third one.
Oh, the third one, which is just a remake of the first one, essentially.
I think so.
Because I like the first one, but then again on rewatching it, I'm like, I don't know if I like this as much anymore. This is one of those time and place things. It was late 90s, early 2000s. You're young and you're like, oh man, this guy's a badass. And then as you get older, you go, oh, this is hack.
Well, because the older you was like, oh, that's the fucking Fast and the Furious dude. Back in the day,
he was just some gruff voice dude.
Exactly. He was Groot for all intents and purposes.
But he was Wolverine. They basically just made a movie where they could make a Wolverine character because he is just fucking Wolverine.
The blades and shit.
He's always got his blades that he carries with him. He's all rough talking and dark, and his eyes have been shined so he sees at night.
Does he have not a comparison, but a thing he subs in for Bub? Is there a word he repeats?
I'm trying to think. I don't.
It's gotta be something.
He's gotta have a catchphrase. Right. Like always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill, something like that.
That's a good line. That's like the one remnant from fucking Blade that will live on. That's a good.
I love Blade. To this day, I'm like, this is such a weird movie.
Is the Blade anniversary coming up? Can we do a revisit?
I think
Blade?
It was 97 or 96. Blade.
I have to rewatch Blade.
Blade absolutely more so than the Matrix because it's always the thing that isn't as remembered.
21st anniversary of
98,
Blade,
21st.
ladies and gentlemen.
But there would be no The Matrix without Blade.
Fuck no.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like Blade was a brilliant movie.
Yeah, and it was such a bold move when we're like
Marvel Knights.
There hadn't been a lot of successful comic book movies.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw Blade, me and my buddy Alex Abraham, we rented it at Shortline Video in Cornwall, and we watched it, and we're both just like, "What the fuck?
This? Yeah.
You can do this with a movie? Like it's like action comic book horror movie.
Yeah.
It was so well. It was and the fight scenes in it were actually not.
No, they're really. Other than the few times he clearly doesn't even make contact with the person.
Yes, other than like the part where he's fighting Frost and they're clearly just doing that thing where you just bash the swords diagonally.
Yeah.
Other than that, and the blood, the fucking blood.
The CGI blood.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof to that, but like the rest of it, otherwise, it's
that was just budget. Yeah.
It's still good.
Oh, it's
open
super
season
enjoyable.
and all suckheads. Like, oh, I love it.
Like that's the thing. I kind of feel like if someone came into Blade for the first time today, they'd be like, "This is the worst movie ever." But there is a nostalgia angle to Blade because I still love the fuck out of Blade. I really do, and I can't look at it objectively.
Okay, let me ask you this: your opinion on the Ben Affleck Daredevil the first time you saw it? How?
Absolute garbage. The first time I saw it, I was like, "This is embarrassing." As soon as they were fighting in the playground,
good point.
I was like, "Oh,
good point."
Oh, because I was so excited, and I remember at the time thinking, "Why the fuck did they cast the wrong part of the duo?" Because Matt Murdock would have been played perfectly by.
Matt Damon. Yeah.
Matt Damon would have made a perfect.
He was like, "Fuck no, I'm being born. Are you kidding me?"
This shit. But where did we get off on this tangent? Where were we?
Oh fuck if I know.
Yeah,
you're asking the wrong person here.
Let's veer off the side of the road back into our lane, which was The Boys.
They should put Blade in The Boys.
They should put Blade in The Boys. I'm sure.
Then someone has to kill him.
I'm sure there will be like a knife or something.
Yeah. Oh, dude, and it's
Switchblade.
You just have like this washed up actor who has tax problems, and they have to kill him.
Wesley Snipes.
Exactly. Well, Haley Joel Osment was essentially a parody of himself.
Yeah.
Like even the kid they cast looked a little bit like him in The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
He has this supernatural power where he helps out people in the city. He was totally just like an aged version. It was so mad.
Yeah. Oh, but so where were we? We were okay. So Carl, we're at the first episode still.
Oh, we were talking about how great Carl Urban.
Carl Urban was because he comes and finds Dewey in order to use him because he realizes that Huey. I don't know why I keep saying Dewey.
Who's Dewey?
Dewey Cox.
I was about to say.
I keep saying Dewey Cox. Huey, and so he uses him to put a bug in the superheroes' headquarters. But then the Invisible Guy finds out, follows him back, and then they had to put a bomb in his ass after they kidnap the Invisible Guy and blow him up, which kind of starts the whole thing in motion.
It's when Dewey first kills a person.
Dewey first kills a person. That's when the supers start realizing there's something out there, because Carl Urban has this audacity to write "We're coming for you" on the box they put.
To play devil's advocate, though, I
skin in.
thought that was stupid at first too. Until he's standing at the race, and he's
just
staring
Carl
at him.
Urban's
He
just
wants him
staring
to know. He's
at,
like, that's how pissed he is. He's like,
Homelander, yeah.
exactly. He's just like, dude, you raped my wife. I'm pissed as fucking shit.
Even though that turns out to all be bullshit.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Because we haven't gone into Homelander yet.
No, because Homelander is the
damn it.
Superman of the series for sure.
The Superman / he's a bit of Chris Evans as well.
Captain America, Superman.
Oh, it's the characteristics of both those characters rendered to like its crucible, where he's wearing the American flag. He looks like Superman.
Yeah,
but it's perfect in the sense of just like he's everything that America represents. He's supposed to be this perfect thing. He has every opportunity to be this perfect pious thing.
Yeah,
but he
was just raised wrong.
His history's full of fucked up weird shit.
Yeah,
so he's this horrible fucking person.
And just to jump ahead, the whole thing ends with him having hope in his kid. I don't know if he's going to want to turn his kid into an evil villain or not, but we'll get there. Because it's like, what's America's kid? Like, what is, you know what I mean?
I mean,
what would America do to their kid?
Exactly. Like, what's the name of that actor? We got what's his name? Come on, Anthony Starr.
But we can talk about individual points. We don't have to break down the whole series.
I'm just saying that I've never heard of him before in anything.
No.
But I was watching the series. I'm like, that is unsettling.
Yeah, I've never heard of him. But
just the way he can switch from like America. Oh, dude, the plane scene.
Oh, he just crashes it?
He just leaves him to die. He doesn't crash.
Oh, that one.
That
the
one. Yeah,
scene.
when he leaves him to all die, and he's like, "Don't worry, folks. It's gonna be like reassuring them. You're. This is."
He's like, "Get the fuck off me!" He starts yelling at them.
Oh my god!
And they're all just like, "What?"
Oh my god, that was one of my favorite parts of the series, where you're just like, "This dude's a fucking monster," and it's so the way he can just roll back and forth into it.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, a super fast dude who has Cyclops eyes that can like laser off your limbs, fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
That is a horrifying prospect, and the way they portray it in the show. So after they stick the bomb up fucking so and so's ass, translucent.
Should be transparent. I thought that was funny.
They're terrified of Homelander. They have to whisper when they're underground. They have to fucking listen. They have cameras watching for him at all times.
He's Superman.
It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
There's no way that dude wouldn't be an asshole. Look at anyone who gets into a little bit of a position of power. A fucking manager at Best Buy. They turn into assholes, man. Imagine if you're God.
I think they nailed it. Like, the way they make Superman not an asshole is pretty good. In that he was just raised by really, really good people.
No, man, Martin Sheen told him... No, it wasn't Martin Sheen. It was Kevin Costner. He was all like, yo, don't save people.
Yeah, hey, fuck Man of Steel.
Yeah.
We're talking about Superman. not whatever the hell that was.
Pretty sure that's what it was, though. I wasn't paying attention.
Even though I do still think Henry Cavill
Carl Urban in that? No, that was Michael
not.
Shannon. That was the other chameleon.
Henry Cavill makes a great Superman. It's a shame he was in such a shitty movie.
Yep.
Movies. Sorry. Yep. But yeah, I mean, like, we don't want to break it down beat by beat. We don't want, like, if you should watch it if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, you know. But it ultimately ends up just being a story about exposing the fact that these superheroes were made in a lab and they weren't any kind of a godsend or anything.
No, it's all been a government like experiment,
showing their hypocrisy.
My favorite thing is at one point you find out they do this very like it reminded me of remember whenever they got Bin Laden and there's Obama and all them watching the footage.
Yeah.
They have this scene at the end. Spoilers. You've been warned that in this bunker is a terrorist with superpowers.
Oh, yeah.
And Homelander reveals that, like, oh, no, I've been experimenting and creating supervillains.
He did it.
Yeah. It was like, what comes next after we defeat all the terrorists? We need another threat.
Yeah.
It was very Ozymandias. This show has so much Watchmen ingrained into it, but with this weird twist on it.
And it was also Hollywood, too. Because it's like, okay, what's our new IP?
Yes.
How do we keep wowing the audience?
We have to stay in the black. We have to keep our profits going up. We have to keep them coming back. So we were going to introduce super terrorists. And I'm like, that's fucking smart.
Yeah, it's evil and smart.
Yeah, like who gave the fucking Taliban the AK-47s they were carrying around? America did. And I'm like, Garth Ennis, man, because I'm a big Preacher fan. Mm-hmm. Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg also handle his other comic book franchise, Preacher. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, his writing style is so good at just taking culture, putting it in a blender, and spilling it out with a bunch of cuss words and bullets and weirdness. And I'm like, I don't know, he does a really good job at it, just holding up they're modern day parables.
Yeah.
You know,
I really would like to read more of his stuff, because I told you earlier that I read the first issue of The Boys and it didn't really hook me.
I'll lend you Preacher.
But it felt like something that once I hit issue 3, it's really going to hook me.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like it's a hot bath. It's not a warm bath. It's hard to ease into it.
Right,
it's like
right.
right off the bat, you're like, oh my god.
Yes, that's perfect. Yeah, well, we were saying like the start of Preacher is literally the 3 protagonists just chilling out in a bar, and it's like the start of Reservoir Dogs. You're like, I don't exactly know what's going on, but once you know the rhythm of the characters, you go back and reread it. You're like, this is perfect. But that's the way his shit works. You're absolutely right. You jump in and you're like, what in the gods? Did I miss an issue before this?
It does feel like you nailed it with that, because the first issue I was like, wait, did I miss something? Is there a prequel comic or something that I missed?
You just catch
like,
up.
Oh, you just stuck into it.
You literally hit the ground running.
Yeah.
No pun intended, A-Train. But
Fucking A-Train. I love that he has a heart attack.
Yes.
Like all the worst ways.
The part that fucking got me. Addendum on that. Garth Ennis rocks. Having said, as a writer, just fantastic. But having said that, the part that got me was whenever one of my favorite characters, I don't know if she has a name, the girl they find, the female she's called, Kimiko.
It's basically Wolverine, even though there is Popclaw in the movie. Kimiko is more Wolverine.
Oh man, that part wherever she splits his leg out.
Oh yeah.
Because again, as a dude who suffered as an artist and a musician and suffered a major fracture.
Yeah.
The second his leg popped out, and I'm like, he's a racer. His career is over.
Done.
I was like, oh my god, I freaked out at that part.
But then he just took the Wonder Drug and healed up like Wolverine.
But my favorite is whenever he goes to the fucking store on the crutches.
Oh, I'm fucking A-Train.
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
It hurts because like they charge it with such racial with backdrop, like he's being.
Why are you watching me?
Why are you watching me?
All
All people. Oh, I'm sorry, you're A-Train. Then he gives him privilege and all that shit. And the next thing you know, you realize they all got their phones out, and you're like, oh, you're just watching a meltdown. This guy's gonna fucking snap.
Yep.
Every scene in that movie was charged with some sort of social commentary where I'm like, this is what would happen.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
exactly what would happen.
And I just kept noticing, like, obviously with Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg working on it, there's a lot of it through the lens of Hollywood. Like, even the fact that Starlight had to, like, turn around in her casting audition video.
Yes.
It's like, oh, it's so gross.
It's so gross. Everything about that fucking costume they make her wear and everything.
Stripper bimbo costume.
Yep.
And then she kind of breaks near the end and kind of becomes that. For like, she goes to the one party in her new costume. She's all drunk.
Oh, that's right. And she's like macking up with the one dude.
I think there may have been a cutscene because she's the dude is giving her Starlight a drink when she's all bimboed up, and she keeps drinking it, and then she's like looks confused, and then she looks at the drink, and then it cuts to her going and throwing up in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Did she get roofied? Was that?
I think that was the implication.
The implication was she got roofied.
She realized like this is what you want to do. You want to hang out with guys who roofie you and you dress like this.
Yeah,
like,
and then Wonder Woman kind of gave her that pep talk. She was like, "There's already one bimbo slut on the team."
Dude, that was a good moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great too. I really liked her.
Yeah, I like just a broken Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, they're all so broken.
What was the name of that fucking character? Queen Maeve.
Queen Maeve. I wonder if they're the same, because neither of us read the comic. I read the first issue.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they kept all the names or if the names are completely different for all the heroes. I don't know if there's Queen Maeve.
Oh, if they like
Homelander.
Homelander for sure.
He's in the comic?
He's in. It's just I don't know. And the fucking Framboy freak out moment where he goes home and has to look at his bedroom covered in pictures of a guy who murdered his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he just freaks out and like the betrayal that like sometimes the thing you love the most, you feel this innate need to obviously his was more profound, but I'm like, this is what we do. This is fanboy culture. We put something on a pedestal
and then find out it donates to the Trump administration.
And then you find out, you know what, it's part of a business, and you know what,
Yeah.
business is fucking pretty ugly from any angle.
Business only fucking cares about profit. They
Exactly.
don't care about anything else.
And it was so cathartic, that moment where he just starts tearing shit down. Like this, again, the visual poetry of that fucking show is just so fun.
And I was confused by Huey. I was like, is this guy supposed to be like 35, 38? And then it turns out his character's supposed to be like 19, 20, and the actor's only like 26. I was like, you led a hard life. Were you raised in Arizona or something? Like, how did your skin get...
Maybe Dewey's mom died? Did they ever cover that?
I don't think they ever talk about it.
Maybe they have split custody and she works on a farm.
And he's always out just working the soil?
He's one of those kids that just went out, like him come back in the summer and he was like 5 feet taller. You're like, what the
built?
Yeah.
Because his face looks like a man much older than what he is. So he just needs to moisturize. Maybe a little note to the actor. Apologize, but you know.
I do love that they found a way to include Simon Pegg. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, because I don't know if his dad's in the comic. I don't know.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
They just added that character as a tribute.
Just to tribute Simon Pegg, because in case you don't know, the character of Dewey Huey is drawn to look, which I'm surprised Simon Pegg is drawn to look like Simon Pegg. I'm surprised he didn't go like, am I going to see any money for this? Just completely stealing my look? I think
that might have been a little bit after they made Ultimate Nick Fury look like Sam Jackson, though. So he knew in the back of his mind, I can cash in on this one day.
Yeah.
I'm sure Garth Ennis wasn't a dick about it. You know
I'm sure he's not a dick, but it would have to be Simon Pegg being a dick, because you can't legally use someone's image, especially an actor. It's all copyrighted and all trademarked and blah, blah, blah. So I imagine that's a testament to Simon Pegg not being a dick.
Yeah.
Because another actor could have just been like, I'm taking half your profits. You're using my fucking image.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good people, that Simon Pegg.
Yeah, he is. He terrible American accent.
Listen, I love the man, and Tim Bisley I trust. That man is my religion.
Mm-hmm.
Not Simon Pegg, Tim Bisley, the character. If you've never seen Spaced, get on that shit.
Get on that right now.
Oh, good lord. Having said that, that American accent leaves a lot to be desired.
It's as bad as Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like what was it, Ready Player One?
Yeah,
it really stuck out. It stuck out in that one, especially because there's a scene where he slips into his normal accent to prove he was the robot the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just do you.
You know who's an American? Craig Ferguson. You know what he sounds like? A Scotsman. He was the old host of the Late Late Show. You can make Americans have English accents or Scottish accents and stop making them humiliate themselves.
Yeah, it's okay.
With these terrible American accents.
Never once have I watched a performance by someone with an accent that wasn't American, being like, what is happening?
Yeah. I know, like,
baffled.
Ironically enough, fucking Vampire Boy, new Batman, he does a spot on American accent. Heath Ledger did a spot on American accent.
Tom Holland isn't bad.
Tom Holland does a really, but he relies a little too much on the squeak. You know, he relies a little too much on keeping it all up here. Because when now Tom Holland's in an interview, he's like, I'm Tom fucking Holland. How's it going? And then Spider-Man.
That's acting.
Up here.
That's acting, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Get it up there. So it seems like an American accent's not hard to do. It's just these guys really can't do it. It's like Sean Connery is the only other person I've heard that bad when he tries to do an American accent.
What movie does he try to do?
I don't remember what the movie was. I just remember hearing it and going, "Oh no!
Stop it!
Yeah,
stop it!
Just stop! Because
just write it into your character that you're Scottish.
Because it still had all the Sean Connery-ness to it, but it was American.
That's terrible.
I don't remember what the fuck it was now though.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
Hey, you know what I watched? On an aside, to just spiral out for a second. I watched Vice. The movie about Dick Cheney, the Vice.
How was that?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was my review for it was as engaging as and terrifying as a face full of birdshot. Because it was really fucking terrifying to watch a guy who did his research, who made the movie. What's his tits there?
So I'm looking up.
Will Ferrell's guy, Anchorman, Adam McKay.
It's crazy how smart that guy is.
Right,
it's
and
freaky.
He did his fucking research, and to see the seed of the now monstrous oak tree that's growing in the United States, and watch a really well researched and thoroughly documented version of the story of the seed that created the fucking evil oil dripping oak tree.
Right.
Like, wow, this is so scary and unnerving and hilarious. It's fucking hilarious.
To be honest with you, I haven't been this interested in political movies since they were like, Oliver Stone is going to do W. I was like,
and that
was okay. Yeah. But this looks like it's the movie I want to see. Like, fuck the puppet
hilarious.
They put out there. I want to see the puppet master behind all that shit.
And it's genuinely fucking hilarious. As you can tell, obviously he's a comedic writer. But there's this one, not to spoil anything, but there's not much to spoil. We saw it play out in real time 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But there's a great recurring joke. And Christian Bale is amazing as Dick Cheney. There's a great recurring joke where he just keeps going like, and he'll pause and just go, I think it's time to go to the hospital, folks. Every time he has a heart attack. Dick Cheney, he had like 6 heart attacks. And so there's just a great moments where he's just in mid-conversation and just stop and be like, it's time to go to the hospital.
That's brilliant.
It's really, really funny. Really well played.
Oh, that's good. I have to watch it.
You gotta watch it because the ending is great, and there is spoilers to be said because of the way they kind of weave the narrative, but it's it's fascinating to sit and discuss that movie afterwards.
Let's do. I want to do that next.
It's a good one.
Hey, on a superhero note, you know what McKay wrote? Ant-Man.
And was he one of the 12 writers, or was he on
it? Oh, okay. It's just on his Wikipedia.
Did they
page,
bring him in to fix it up after?
I just think that's fascinating.
I think I'm gonna say I'm not 100% sure on this one, but I'm gonna say that after fucking Scott Pilgrim, why am I forgetting his name?
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright left. They scrambled, and they were bringing in a lot of people to
Oh
try
man,
and
so they
fix
replaced
it.
him with McKay.
Yeah, well, because
Not bad thinking.
I think it went through like 3 or 4 writers just trying to
Yeah,
scramble.
apparently Paul Rudd was one of them too.
I think anytime an actor improvises enough lines, they have to be given a writing credit.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I think that dude saves that movie. We watched we did an Infinity War Endgame marathon the other night.
Yeah.
And oh my god, like the second you're like, why of all people, why'd you bring back Ant-Man? Because they killed Peter Parker,
Yeah.
who's the second most charming person. Like it's neck and neck with him and Paul Rudd, the cute bug
You need
superhero.
the cute foil. Yeah.
Exactly.
Doesn't Hulk even say there's a Spider-Man and an Ant-Man?
Yes, exactly. But like what I love the most about him in those movies is that that's all he is. It's just endless naive positivity. It's kind of endearing, and like just the way he can improvise his way through most of that shit. I don't get it. I don't get how he does, because that's hard to maintain.
Yeah, oh for sure.
Like that cute demeanor and then fucking improv on top of it. I don't know how he does it.
They apparently the Russos do encourage a lot of just playing around. They have a structure for the story, and they know where they want to go, and they obviously have a script to memorize. But I've heard that
I believe it, man.
They encourage a lot of like play around with it. We'll get the take we need, and then play around with it.
After all, like the stories from like Endgame and Infinity War, like the "I am Iron Man" line.
Oh, that was like last second when shot that.
My favorite is when Tony says "liar."
Oh yeah,
that was totally improvised. I'm like, how is that not? He was just so dialed into that character.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is so smart. Like, it's such a subtle callback. And you're like, right, you guys haven't seen each other since the awkwardness.
The awkward.
Ooh,
that's blew my mind though, because the fact that they didn't come up with "I am Iron Man" in the script writing stage, and then there's a great video, because you know those like CinemaSins, that YouTube video, that YouTube series where it's like ding, why would you ding? The director of Shazam, and I think that directors are finally getting sick of that shit, and the director of Shazam actually made a little 5-minute video talking about one of the CinemaSins was in the Shazam. All the kids run outside at one point, and then one little girl isn't outside, and then they all run back inside, and then she's putting her boots on, the little girl, when they're going after Billy in the third act. And one of the CinemaSins was like, bing, are they foreshadowing that she's going to be super fast and that's her power? Bing, why are they all wearing their coats inside? And then the director actually addressed it, was like, okay, this is how movies work. That little girl was not able to make the shooting day schedule. In the original script, they looked at the window, but we realized later in the movie we were shooting on location outside in -0 weather. So we needed to get the actors in coats. So we had to figure out how to get them in coats. So we improvised the scene of them running outside, putting their coats on, but the little girl wasn't available that day. So we had to retroactively shoot it on the interior of them coming in of her being too slow to put her boots on. That's how fucking movies work. It's a series of problems you need to solve. And then the video ended with ding! Just directly ripping on them.
the exact same sound clip.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Question: Is it bad? I think they're both losers.
Oh, it's for addressing it?
Yeah, I think they're both nerds in this equation. Like, fuck both these people.
I don't know if the director did it of his own volition, or
I
if they
think
were
that
like, we
dude
want
should
to
grow
put
the
this out
fuck
there.
up, and the guy who made the Bing video should go fuck
just
himself.
stop. I remember those. They're ultimately satisfying. I don't want to shit on anybody. I shit on everybody. What the fuck? But those Everything Wrong With videos are really satisfying when I first started watching them for movies that were terrible.
Right.
Because it was never getting very in-depthful with their analysis. They were just making fun of the obvious things. And I was like, I like laughing at that. I can't stand those videos now, though.
It's like continuity error. It's like, I don't...
And their
You know how
points
hard
are
this is?
so surface level.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. There's dozens of people, hundreds of people.
Yeah.
You don't see. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's suddenly...
You make one.
Yeah.
Ding.
The moment that did it was when I was like, oh, he did a movie I like. I'm going to watch this. And I went, oh, all his points are super shallow.
Yeah.
I was just maniacally laughing at making fun of movies I didn't like
like
an idiot.
Yeah, it's like jumping on the bandwagon. You're like, I'm just going to kick the dead horse. But I don't know, man. Fuck him.
No, that's what I like about this podcast, is that we talk about the in-universe stuff a bit, but we mostly just talk about like the decisions made by the studios or the writing process, and we actually kind of break it down on that level. And then we talk about like, whoa, well, Spider-Man's new suit was really cool. In-universe explanation, really cool. We'll touch on that. But then we'll flip around and be like, okay, what's the real reason? Toy sales, they had to pay a designer, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I like that we kind of ride in both of them.
As a segue, that's kind of what the boys did.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Speaking of the boys.
They gave you behind the scenes look of like, we have to make it as a marketing thing. Like, you're blowing up in the middle states right now, you know, that whole thing. We flipped it, turned into an empowerment thing for women.
Yeah.
I don't know. I that's why I like this show. I'm like, it's important right now.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it is, and I said to you right before we started the podcast that I'm at the end of my rope with superhero movies. I'm so bored with them.
Yep.
And I think after The Boys, because there's been a lot of less effective deconstruction of superhero properties or series or comics. I'm kind of getting sick of those now too. I'm just sick of the whole thing.
I know what it is. I don't like adaptations.
Yeah.
Just like I get
Just
like
make something new.
Stand By Me was an adaptation. It's one of the greatest movies ever. But like maybe swing for the more esoteric.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, you know, I don't know.
I'm just done with superheroes. Even deconstruction of superheroes. And I think The Boys was... I remember back in like whatever 2000 and whatever that Kick-Ass came out. And everyone was like, this is a deconstruction of superheroes. I guess this is the nail in the coffin for superhero movies. And the Marvel movies hadn't even started yet. And I feel like The Boys is a similar way where I'm like, for me personally, I'm like, that was the perfect deconstruction. I'm kind of curious to see what happens in season 2. But I'm so done with overpowered people fighting some overpowered villain for whatever surface level shit you can come up with as a reason and whatever character flaws they have. I'm done with it.
You know what?
I'm just done
As a
with
segue
it.
though.
You should check out our superhero space action heroes comic.
So are The Boys.
yeah. That's why The Boys are perfect.
That's why anytime Carl Urban's like torturing a superhero, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm sick of this shit. Just get in there, pull his teeth out.
That's why the Boys may be it for me in terms of interest. Like, I'll see stuff to do the podcast and things, but for me actually being like, oh, I can't wait to see something. Those days are kind of over for superhero stuff, and The Boys is the last thing where I'm like, I do want to see where that goes.
What if they make another Jurassic Park?
I really like. I'm the guy that liked Jurassic World, and Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom was one of the biggest pieces of shit ever. And there is another one coming out in like next summer.
I'm guessing they've taken over the planet.
Yeah, Jurassic World.
You gonna see it?
I'll not in theaters. Unless we have to do a podcast about it, which I'm sure we're going to have to do. You know, 90% of these movies I've seen in theaters is because of this goddamn podcast in the last 2 years.
Dude, I had to go see... Which was it? I watched The Lion King, for God's sake. And that one, I was biting my lip the whole time. I'm like, this is unbearable, but I'm doing it for the podcast.
And you're on your way. You're seeing It Chapter 2 next week, or as I call it, Shit Chapter Poo.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You watched it.
Yeah. It's I didn't like it, but I didn't like the first one. So this one is just more of the same.
I'm used to, what do you call it? My standards for a good bad movie are pretty low. Example of the two of us, one of us loves Bad Boys 2.
That's true.
So I can appreciate when a movie's just like, oh, this is just pandering. It's so goofy and weird. Like, I don't care.
I think I just love horror so much. I hate seeing bad horror. That's why I hate 90% of horror.
But it is interesting to see. I guess the best way I can describe it is seeing like, okay, so that's the standard. Like, where are the gaps in that people aren't hitting? Where are the beats that if you? Because I'm always, I don't know about you. When you go to a restaurant, you get a meal. In the back of your head, you're thinking, how the fuck can I make this? I watch a movie, and then like in the back of my head, I'm like, if I was to fucking redo this, how would I do it? So I'm watching the movie, I'm like, what's the niche market that hasn't been cornered? What are they putting in these popular Walmart version of horror movies that's kind of considered status quo?
Yeah.
They're mostly ripping off video games from what I've seen. A lot of them, which is kind of fucked up, like the POV shit.
And I kind of feel like Stephen King is unadaptable by anyone but Stanley Kubrick, who just completely changes Stephen King.
Yeah, it's true. Because whenever you turn into exactly what it is, it gets kind of...
And the thing is, Stephen King...
Tim Curry-ish.
It's weird that it's just age. It's like that respect that comes with age, because Stephen King back in the 80s was considered like schlock. It was schlock horror. It was scary. He has a nice prouse about him, but it was ultimately schlock horror. And he lived a really long time.
And he galvanized
30 years passed, yeah. And he's written 72 books or something, and now everyone's like, Stephen King, brilliant. It's
right.
like, well, he's not brilliant, he's just old. And so when you adapt his
Abe
work...
Vigoda.
Yeah, wait, who's Abe Vigoda?
Oh, how dare you? He's the guy who fucking sells out Michael and fucking The Godfather. He was super old. He was on Conan O'Brien for like a decade before he died.
I gotta watch The Godfather. The Godfather 2 was on the other day, and I was like, I gotta rewatch these movies.
I know it was you, Carson.
Yeah.
You broke my heart.
There's a reason they're the greatest movies of all time. But I hope you enjoy it, but I really didn't like it at all.
It too. You know, again, I'm gonna put my brain on the wall and just be like, it's a clown. He's gonna do some things. Bill Hader's here to keep me entertained.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, I love Bill Hader, but
leave
I'm not
Barry
sure.
alone.
I'm not sure you're gonna think he's keeping you entertained in this particular rendition.
Bill Hader could just, as long as he makes a silly face.
You're good to go. I
Yeah.
don't think he makes any silly faces.
Is he scared? Does he make a scared Bill Hader face?
He does make a scared silly face.
I'm
yeah,
fine. I'm totally fine.
There's a great moment in the book. It's
That's worth $12 to me right there.
It's there's a great moment in the book right at the beginning. Like the first chapter is like a gay couple in Derry leaving the bar, and then some like trash bags come out and beat the shit out of the gay guy and toss him over the bridge, and then his partner runs down and he looks over and he just sees this clown staring at him as he drags the guy away.
Sure.
And in the book, as you're reading it, it's the scariest fucking thing ever. And that scene is put into this chapter 2, which is weird since it's the first fucking scene in the book.
Right.
And it is laughably bad. And as soon as I had that comparison, I was like, because I didn't finish it. I got bored with it, honestly. I was like, this is too long, and I'm not a huge Stephen King fan.
Right, it's a huge book, right?
It's a huge fucking book. I got 300 or 400 pages in, and I was like, I'm kind of okay with not finishing this. But seeing the adaptation of the scene that I thought was the creepiest scene that I'd read in the book up to that point, I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
A little bit of like actually seeing Darth Vader fight Obi-Wan on a volcano. You're like,
Right,
this sounded
like,
way cooler when I was a kid.
Yeah, I made this so much scarier in my head. I think that's the brilliance of Stephen King. He writes at like a 5th grade level, and which is fine, but he leaves he's so great at crafting a scene that your brain fills in the gaps.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
I see.
always so much scarier.
Oh, and that's kind of clever. Here's me giving my opinion on Stephen King. You know what I think about Stephen King, everyone? I think that's very clever. What he does there by letting your imagination take over and fill in the gaps.
See that?
I don't know if you guys knew he did that, but
And honestly, I read a couple of his post-accident books. I think he did lose a little something when he got in that
it's gotta
accident.
be fucking hard as an author, eh?
Yeah.
Like, ugh, this is
Yeah.
trauma of that.
Just
Like,
because he was going to retire, and then he finally slowly got back into writing after that.
oh my god, that dude's gotta be fucked in
Yeah.
the head.
And he's like 73 or something.
Like, first of all, you got your cocaine addiction.
And he always has underage shit happening in his books too, which makes you wonder if he's going to get Epsteined.
He's gonna be fucked in the head.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Stephen King.
Even though I find though it's like the Marilyn Manson syndrome. The weirdest fucking people are the most normal people when you actually.
Not Stephen King. Look at him.
You
It's
think
coming
he's
out of
just
his
insane.
face.
Yeah, he does look like some sort of ferret.
I could see him, like, if you look through his window, he'd be doing some, like, normal shit abnormally, like eating an onion.
Yeah.
Like it was a pear. Like,
Isn't this crazy?
like, he's just unsettling. So, on that note.
On Stephen King's unsettling insanity.
And adaptations.
Adaptations in general.
Just watch The Boys.
Yeah, watch The Boys. Check it out. It's going to offend you. Like my earlier fucking joke about Trump female supporters. It's going to offend you, but if you take the time to go, what's the meaning behind that?
Yeah.
It's actually, not that I say I'm fucking depthful in my jokes about how horrible people who support Trump are, but it takes, once you realize what they're trying to say, it's pretty fucking amazing.
It's pretty clever.
And it's not offensive in any way.
No, and it's told really well. It's just a giant mirror held up to society. I'm like, hey, you said it.
Yeah.
We're just commenting on it.
Which is what art should be, which
Exactly.
is the shortcoming of Disney. They try and tell us what we should be rather than showing us what we are.
What we are. And this show really fucking, it hits home where you're just like, oh, okay, you know, if you want to make a proper superhero parable, you have to include all the parts of humanity.
All the parts.
Just not all the great, like, rewriting parts of your history. Like, just, hey, revisit your nostalgia and everything will be fine. It's like, yeah, but you're still right here.
Yeah.
And this guy just said grab it by the pussy. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
It's the equivalent of putting on a VR headset and just thinking that's reality.
Yeah, exactly.
Just, bizarre escapism. But speaking of which, Space Action Heroes now available on VR. This is actually our first podcast post iTunes. So welcome any new listeners.
Howdy,
how's it going? I guess we should have started the podcast with that, but if you're still here, God bless. And we're next week we're gonna be back with a look at the 20th anniversary
of the unplugging of the one. And I don't mean that time I clogged my toilet after Mexicana Day.
Or that time I clogged my penis after Mexicana Day. Did you say Mexicala or Canada?
Mexicana Day. It's like Mexican cross. You ever know?
I don't know. I think I've said that.
Oh,
Is that like a fusion cuisine day?
Oh, it's just something I made up to cover the fact that I fucked that up.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty clever.
The Matrix.
Matrix.
It's The Matrix. We'll see you next week with The Matrix. In the meantime, thank you for listening. Check us out, spaceactionheroes.com.
See you next week.
Bye. Well, that was a dour ending.